Have you ever been so scared, so frozen in fear that even the person next to you feels like a stranger, or worse, a monster? That moment happened to me deep in the woods when a gun went off and I realized the man I married wasn't just broken. He was dangerous. Before I continue, if this is your first time watching, please go back and start from chapter 1. This is a real life story, and to understand the depth, the trauma, and the fight for freedom, you have to walk through it with me from the very beginning. Trust me, it will change the way you see love, survival, and strength. So living as Jack's wife was like constantly walking on shattered glass, careful, painful, and nerve-wracking. I had long stopped hoping he would change. I didn't need to psychoanalyze him. Jack was who he was, and staying with him felt more like survival than love. I used to tell myself, this is just a dark tunnel. Ride it out. There's light at the end. That was the only way to keep my sanity in check. But every day he chipped away at me, controlling the finances, draining my paychecks, making sure I had nothing left. He wanted me helpless, dependent, and invisible. No friends, no family, just him and my misery. But something inside me kept whispering, hold on, Aurora, the right time will come. Then one day, his estranged teenage son, yes, the one who ran away when he was 5, came back into our lives. That's a whole other twist. I'll get into it later. But it was during the last week of deer hunting season that I saw something I'll never forget. Jack and I were out in the woods miles away from the main road, just us, camouflage and a CB radio to communicate. After hours in the freezing cold, we headed back home empty-handed. Then we saw it, a massive black cow blocking our narrow path. We couldn't go around it. Jack honked, nothing. He got out, tried yelling at it, nothing. He loaded his on fire and boom, still nothing. Then right in front of me, he dropped to one knee, aimed at the cow's forehead, and without flinching, bang! The cow dropped on the ground. My heart stopped. I screamed. I cried. Why, Jack? Why would you do that? But he was so cold, soulless. What came next was straight out of a nightmare. He tied the cow's legs, dragged it behind his truck for miles, and when we got to the remote hunting site, he pulled out a pocket knife, the kind you keep in a glove box, and he began butchering that cow like it was nothing. I was sobbing, screaming, begging him to stop. Jack, this isn't right. This isn't even yours. Please stop. But all he said was, shut up, woman. And when I didn't stop crying, he looked at me and growled, you better stop or else. That night, something changed in me. The fear became too real. The signs I once ignored were now screaming at me. This man wasn't just angry, he was unstable, and I realized if I didn't find a way out soon, I might not live to tell the rest of this story. So stay with me for chapter 12, because what happens next could have ended everything. So if you're watching this and going through something you can't talk about, please know you're not alone. This is my story, but it could be anyone's. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your support. Don't forget to like, follow, comment, and share with someone who might need to hear this. Till then, see you in my next video.